All right, I'm going to show you something, and it's in a cartoon, and I know exactly what it is, and it's all has to do with the whole Saturn Earth Moon connection here, and the reality of what's really going on a specific level. Here's a picture of the Sphinx. Okay, picture of the Sphinx. Down here, we got an ion. When you think of an ion or an eye, the first thing people think is the Illuminati. Okay, that's what they think of. They think of the Illuminati because of the eye. And the eye is associated with what? It's the South Pole of Saturn. Okay? You got two types of ions. You got a positive and negative. The positive is called a cation or a cation. Okay? So let's just do this. A cation. Okay, a cation. And then you've got another one that's a negative, which is an anion. Okay? So you have two different ones. This Earth is negatively charged. So we're anions. Okay? At least the soil is. I don't know what the inside the inside of the Earth might be positive charge. Okay, it might be a positive, what's called a positive pole connection. When you plug like anything in that's like your cell phone or any of that, the inside of that jack is either positive or negative. The outside is either positive or negative, but they have to be switched. They can't be both. So the outside layer of this Earth is negative. The inside's probably positive. So when there's an exchange of ions between the Earth and Saturn, okay, on the Earth, when they're talking about soil holding electrons and neutrons and ions, it's called a cation exchange, or it's called this. It's a CEC, okay? The reason that they're showing this in this cartoon at the end is that you've got the Sphinx, which is the cat, and he's drinking. So the cat is the cation. He's drinking. You notice how this thing looks like a battery? It's because it's a cation exchange. That's what's going on between here and Saturn. When we had the polar vortex here in the United States, go look at the dates. They had one going on Saturn. It's a cation exchange. This is a very small. You're talking ions happening on a micro scale event happening on a macro scale. From the smallest to the biggest, it's exactly the same. When it needs payment or it needs currency, because that's the story. The devil needs his due, right? You got to pay your dues. That's currency. That's money. Okay? It's pulling. It's doing a cation exchange. It's probably sending us negative ions. Okay? And we're sending it positive ions from the center of the planet. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. So we're constantly getting negative ions. Okay, I believe I have this right. So, as above, so below. But the thing is we're getting all the really bad stuff. We're getting all the negative stuff, while all the good stuff gets taken away. Okay, because positive and negatives attract. So if Saturn is negative, it's going to be pulling the good out of here. If we're a positive in the center, we're going to be pulling negatives down. So you have this circle, positive, negative. Now you're talking poles. Okay? It's not that hard to figure out. That's what the Sphinx represents. And that's what the vagina represents. Because it's cat power. It's pussy power. It's a cation. It's a cation exchange. I mean, they only show this clip of this for a second. This is all going on. It's all based on power and not governmental. The governments make the people be where they're supposed to. In ancient Rome, if you weren't in the Colosseum when you were supposed to be, They killed you because you're part of the payment. And this would explain why all of these things are built on certain specific grids or ley lines, because that energy is funneled downstairs. And then when the time comes for the devil to be paid his due, that gets funneled back up. The Aurora Borealis has nothing to do with the explanation they gave you. That's a connection between the North Pole and that area and the South Pole of Saturn. I don't give a flying fuck what they say. Okay? Period. It's the CEC. It's a Cretaceous exchange. Believe me, I know that. I had to learn all of that crap because that's how our soils work here in the world. Different soils hold different charges. And then that gets broken down on how it maintains the electrical field and a pH balance and all of that crap. But that's what's going on between this planet and that planet. Oh, sure, there's the whole spiritual aspect of it. That doesn't change, and you shouldn't change your beliefs. Because your beliefs are how you conduct yourself. There's another electrical term. You understand? See, I don't think they want this portion of it to get out too much, because if people really understood that if I act in a certain manner, I can disrupt things, they'd really disrupt things. So they keep you in line, teach you how to conduct yourself in a specific manner. Now, if you have to blow up your screen to look at this. This is from Nostradamus, the 9th century, his 44th quatrain. It says, leave Geneva, everyone. Geneva is where CERN is. The Grim Reaper will change gold to iron. The Grim Reaper is Saturn, right? Because that's who that is. Will change gold to iron. Those against Raypaz, now you're talking, I believe, an ion, okay, or a cat ion, okay, a cation. You're talking a positive ion. Raypaz will be exterminated before the invasions of heaven will show signs. Okay, this is some electrical anomaly. Okay, Raypaz will be exterminated. So there will be no positive negative exchange. That's what that's telling me. So right now, the center of the earth is positive. The outside is negatively charged. Saturn seems to be the opposite. Saturn seems to be positively charged on the outside, but negatively charged on the inside. So there's an exchange between the two and their magnetic poles. Okay? So everything that you do, you help charge the battery, and then that negative energy is funneled. That energy is funneled up there, and then we get the bullshit back. Now, whether I have this exactly right or not, I'm in the ballpark. I may have the poles flipped on how this thing works. But let's see, if the Earth's center is positive, then the outside, this would be negative. That means the inside of Saturn would be positive, and negative would be on the outside or the inside. So it would have to be an inside, which means as that goes in, that means the negative comes down. Okay, all right, so just thinking in my head. It's what it is. It's an exchange of ions. Okay, we're getting all the really bad stuff, and we're giving up all the really good stuff. So we're getting dumped on, basically. We're getting shit on. Really, literally. We're getting all the really bad stuff, and all the good stuff is being taken. It's like having your wallet open and have all your money taken, and you're getting nothing for it. And then they keep coming and knocking on your door and saying, give me more, give me more, give me more. Well, what do I get? You get shit on. That's what you get. That's what's going on. And when the time comes when they need more money or currency, the stories are already timed to create the drain or to create the collection. And they get that from you because you are the little batteries which charge the big battery. And then the big battery depletes its energy back up there. and then it takes and it gives you your receipt, which is negative, which is anions, which are negative ions. Okay, the positive ions will be exterminated. If that exchange between Saturn and the Earth is busted, then it'll be utter destruction for this place. I mean, that's what it appears to me, and I think CERN has something to do with trying to make payment or putting out energy that is interacting with Saturn.